Hey, pool chasers. Have you ever walked into a backyard and saw a cleaner in the pool that you did not recognize? I've been there a few times myself. Let me tell you, the first time I saw a pressure side cleaner, I had no idea what I was looking at. We don't have very many of those out here in the Phoenix market. So we want to welcome you to episode 103. If you haven't guessed it by now, this episode is all about cleaners. During the episode, we discuss suction side, pressure side, and robotic cleaners. We go over how each of them is designed to work and some of the key things you need to know for each style. So, we hope you enjoy Cleaners 101 with John Rotundo and Brian King of Pentair.
Welcome to your go-to podcast for the pool and spa industry. My name is Tyler Rasmussen.
And my name is Greg Villafania. And this is the Pool Chasers Podcast.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Can you please introduce yourself and what your role at Pentair is?
Yes. Hi. I'm John Rotundo. I'm the Group Product Manager for Cleaners and Sanitizers. I've been working with Pentair for 5.5 years. I've been in the industry about 10 years now. I used to work for Zodiac before I joined Pentair. And been in the same product lines. I used to manage the product line of cleaners in Zodiac, and now I do it for Pentair, plus the sanitizer lines in Pentair. I began my career in 2002 with small appliances, and I always been in the consumer side, so consumer products. It kind of makes sense since cleaners and sanitizers are all aftermarket type of products for me to be managing those categories for Pentair.
Right. What brought you into the pool industry?
You know, it's funny. I used to live in Florida, and then I moved to California. I always wanted to live in California, and really was a more geographical move for me than a job. And then through networking, I got into the pool industry in California, and that's how I got into the pool industry. It's a really great industry to work for. It's a lot of fun.
So did you move to San Diego?
I do. I live in North County, San Diego, and been here since 2010. North County is beautiful. Carlsbad, which is, in the border of the north side of the county, and it's coastal. So the weather here, it's incredible.
Yeah. We grew up in Victorville, California, not too far from there. We love San Diego.
Oh, nice.
No, it's not that nice, but San Diego's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, we try to travel outside of Victorville as much as you can. Yeah, there's not much better weather than there for sure. So, well, thanks for sharing that with us. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, sure. My name is Brian King. I am the Training Projects Manager currently. Some of my responsibilities under that role are to work with the engineering teams, both for new product development and sustaining. What I do there is to keep involved with the new products and projects that go on with the sustaining group to improve current products, so I can keep the training team up to date as far as product improvements and new products that are coming out, so we can have the training materials available when those products get launched.
Awesome.
I also traveled from August through April to actually help teach our customers, service and dealers and builders about our products. And we're in a different city pretty much every week during that time period. So it's get to see a lot of interesting people and a lot of different places, that's for sure. Before being with the training team, I've been with the training team now for a little over 2 years. I was product manager and had different product lines throughout the years, from pumps to above ground systems to cleaners and sanitizers to heat pumps, a little bit of everything as I kind of went through the product management role. I actually started out in the pool industry selling creepy crawlies, pool cleaners, door to door. We would take the weekday and set up appointments to show the product during the weekends because we wanted both the husband and the wife home when we showed it. And had a great time doing that.
Well, thank you, Brian. I think that is one of our favorite stories that we heard from you a while back about being a door-to-door cleaner salesman. I think that was just really, really cool. And we talked about how it was even better because you would actually, take one of the cleaners and put it in somebody's pool. And once they actually saw it working, you had a better closing rate. Those people kind of on the edge of wanting to buy a cleaner or not.
Yeah, you typically had 80+% close rate just because when you put that cleaner into the pool and it cut a path across that pool and they didn't think the pool was dirty, they were amazed at how well it cleaned and couldn't help but buy it.
Right. I'm sure most of the pools back then were plaster pools.
Yes.
Like white plaster pools. So you might think that it wasn't super dirty, but once that thing started moving, it was probably shining after that.
Yeah, you could see right where the cleaner went, it would make a definite path across the pool.
Do you hear about people often in this day and age doing that? Because we think that would be a really good idea in going to a bid for pool service or even for a repair, but bringing maybe a robotic cleaner with you or something and just plugging it in and throwing it in the pool. Just because I say robotic cleaner, because that would probably be a little bit easier to just plug in and, throw it in and do what you were doing. And somebody might be like, hey, tell me more about this. And maybe that could be a potential sell, and that's, fairly easy. You could take it out and just use that as a tool in every other backyard you go into.
Yeah, that's a great question. And we do have dealers that actually do that. They will give a robotic cleaner to a customer. Say their cleaner might be broke and it's in the shop to be fixed, so they'll give them a loaner cleaner, a robotic cleaner, take home and plug in and set in their pool. And a lot of times they come back and say, you know what, don't worry about fixing my cleaner. I think I want to take one of these robotic cleaners.
Oh, that's awesome. So you can keep it.
Pentair does have a demo program for our robotic cleaners. And we do offer that service through our service and our dealers, where we provide those demo units, robotic, to serve that purpose. Like Brian said, it's very effective, not only from a robot to robot sell, but also from a upsell from a suction to pressure cleaner upselling to a robot. Once they see that functionality and how clean and how effective the robot is from a demo, from a weekend, the homeowner takes the checkbook and says, hey, how much this thing is, and I just want to write a check.
Yeah, and what's the best way for professionals to get more information about that? Maybe reach out to their local rep?
Absolutely.
The try me, buy me type program. So each rep in the different territories very familiar with that program, and it gives a cleaner at a very, very reduced price. So if they're unsure about the cleaner, they just want to try it, they can get one at a discounted price, give it a try without, spending too much.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for sharing that information. And obviously, if you haven't picked it up yet, we're talking about cleaners today. So can you tell us just a little bit about the history of pool cleaners and how they've kind of transitioned through the years?
In the very beginning, when pool cleaners were first introduced to the pool industry, you really had the Arneson pool sweep. It was this little bag, jet-driven cleaner that roamed around the pool, picking up debris as it floated around the pool. It was very, very inefficient, but it was the only thing out there. So people took it because it helped, maintain the pool where they didn't have to sit and clean it every single day. Then Creepy Crawly came around after the pool sweep and really took off. Customers really liked that cleaner. You also had pressure cleaners that took off really well because they worked great picking up large debris. They were great for picking up very large leaves and acorns and whatever else you might find in the swimming pool, but they were great for larger debris. The robotic cleaners, when they came into the industry, they weren't very well accepted because, one, the cost was very prohibitive, and two, the warranty and the quality of the product just wasn't where it needed to be. Power supplies were failing quite often. The motors to drive the cleaners were failing in a very short time period. And they've come a long way where the motors are much more heavy duty. They last a lot longer. They are very inexpensive to operate on a daily basis. So they have come a long way, and they are the fastest growing segment of the cleaner segment in the industry.
I wonder how pools were designed to keep clean prior to that. Were they depending on homeowners? And I'm sure there wasn't too many service companies, but to just kind of vacuum up a pool, with their own equipment, or was there something else in place to keep these pools clean before the actual cleaners that were put into the pool?
It was really their own equipment, what they got from the pool builder. Long hose, 40-foot of hose, 50-foot of hose, and their pole and a little back head. And they had to stand out there and move that thing around to pick up all the debris, which was a chore that people really didn't like to do, using up their Saturday for to clean the pool. So cleaners, when they were introduced, they took off pretty rapidly.
You have to also put in perspective that back then, there's smaller sized pools in backyards, very unique shape, similar shapes. I mean, today the customization of pools and the different types of pools are vastly different, right? And a lot of different numbers of pools, types of pools. Back then, it was more similar. And as Brian said, it was very manual cleaning process, right? It took somebody to really use a backhead with a hose to really vacuum the floor and the walls and brush it to then put all that debris into the filter. Pool cleaners came from that need of automate that process, that manual process. And it started as South Africa. So all the designs and all the technology and all the cleaners actually came from South Africa. But it was a very manual process in a very different application, which is smaller pools back then than what is today.
Well, I appreciate, you guys going through that a little bit. As you mentioned, cleaners kind of changed when you go to different markets. So we wanted to touch on the three cleaners you've been mentioning and start with suction side cleaners. So can you kind of explain how they work and what kind of offerings Pentair has for those?
Yeah, absolutely. First, suction side cleaners, as I mentioned before, they're hydraulic mechanisms. So what that means is they use the suction force from the pump, from the pump and the pad, to provide that vacuum power to then clean and pick up debris in the surfaces of the pool. The way that they're connected is either you connect those cleaners through a hose. There's like 10 or 12 links of hose, depending on the company. And then you put those links together, you connect it to the cleaner head, and then you connect the other end into a dedicated suction line in the pool that it's already plumbed with a builder that plumbed it that way. Or you can connect that end of that hose into the skimmer. How it works is once the pump turns on, the cleaner is working automatically. There's different cleaners that use different mechanisms. Some use like a diaphragm. Some use a hammer mechanism, which means that when water passes through that system, which is the engine, it closes and opens, and that closing and opening creates movement to the cleaner. It actually moves backwards, and that's how the cleaner travels. Those cleaners are mostly the what we call them the disc cleaners, which is the Creepy Crawly, the Creepy Cruiser. And then you have other types of suction cleaners which have wheels. So we have a cleaner, which is our best-selling cleaner. It's called the Rebel. And those have gears inside, and it also has like a little turbine. And that turbine, it's what creates the movement through those gears to those wheels, and then allows the cleaner to move forward, back, has some cams that are based on time that allows an algorithm to that cleaner to go left, right, front, back. And that algorithm or logic really ensures that with enough time, that cleaner will go to every single spot in your pool. Now, Rebel or Creepy Crawly, it's the same concept, which is in a hydraulic concept where it uses the pump suction force to really pick up the debris and move the cleaner. We also have a cleaner called the Dorado and the Great White, which it has bristles underneath, and they use as brush. So the cleaner sitting on top of those bristles, and it's actually brushing and scrubbing the surface while it's moving and while it's picking up debris. So it's more of a added feature, if you will, of cleaning, because now you're scrubbing the floor, you're scrubbing the walls with this bristle type of application. All of our cleaners, all of our in-ground suction cleaners are wall climbers. They all climb walls. So what that means is, the cleaner will go up the tile line and then scrub the tile line and then come back down. So they're very versatile. They're very accessible from a price point. And they're very popular in the Sun Belt, right? In the Sun Belt states and Southern California, the Southwest, Florida, it's huge on those. Interesting enough, there's certain cleaners in our portfolio that sell more in certain Sun Belt states. And it's just an application. It's just some customers prefer the bristles and how that works with their pools and their consumers. And some others prefer a wheel cleaner because it goes a little faster than the bristle cleaner. So the Rebel will travel a little faster than the Dorado. And for an example, the Southwest likes that better. But they're all very effective, not only cleaning your pool, picking up the debris, but they go all around the pool. And when the pump stops, the cleaner stops. Most pool owners leave the cleaner inside of a pool, and they just have that cleaner turn on every single day once the pool and the pump turns on.
Yeah, and I'll ask because we use the Rebel probably more than anything. And can you give some maybe good tips, good practices when installing, we'll say a Rebel for this instance? Because we know there's a couple times we've had people install the Rebels and maybe forgot to put on a leader hose or didn't sync it with all the water inside the hose. But maybe you can give us just some tips on installing Pentair Rebel correctly.
Sure. It's funny that you say something about the leader hose, because leader hose is a very special hose. It's a short hose, but that hose has to be able to bend 90 degrees to allow the cleaner to go from the bottom of the pool to the sides of the pool. So it's got to be very flexible. And then that cleaner also turns different amounts, 360, 280, 180, so on. And that's how it creates a more random pattern. But as it turns, it creates torsional twisting on the hose. Those are all bad for the hose, causes the hose to break down. Well, that leader hose is a special hose. It's specially formulated and specially constructed to be soft so it can flex and get that 90-degree bend. But it also accepts that torsional twisting as well and doesn't break down like your standard cleaner hose will. So the leader hose is a very important piece of equipment on the Rebel. The other thing that I would add is really three things that you have to watch for when you look at a cleaner. You got to look at hose length and lie. If you have too much hose, you get tangling and twisting. You don't have enough, it doesn't reach all areas of the pool. And you want to make sure that that hose lies in the swimming pool so that the cleaner has free movement. The other thing you need to look at is water flow. These cleaners are only ounces in the water. And water flow, you look at a gallon of water, you've got roughly 8.33 pounds, right? That's going to push the cleaner around. So you got to be careful how you have the water flow being directed in the swimming pool, because you can either keep the cleaner in an area or push it out of an area, causing dirty spots. The other thing that you want to look for is the cleaner speed. There's a hump on the Rebel tire, and you can use that hump on the tire and count how many revolutions you get in a minute. And we look for 11 to 13 revolutions per minute. And depending on how high you go, if you go to 13, you're going to get better wall climb. But when you start to get over 13 revolutions per minute, now you've got the cleaner coming up to the water line and actually wanting to climb out, sucking air. And if you have less than 11, now the cleaner is sluggish, doesn't pick up debris as well, doesn't make it to all areas of the pool as well. So we really want to keep it in that 11 to 13 wheel revolutions per minute.
Thank you. How does somebody go about figuring out how many hoses they need to add to a pool when adding a cleaner?
So for hoses, on the suction side, most cleaners you want from the point that you plug it into the suction side of the hydraulic system to the furthest point in the pool plus one section. That's all you need. So if you're using a dedicated vacuum line, that's usually somewhere in the middle of the pool. So you want to stretch that hose out to the furthest corner of the pool and then add one more section. That allows that cleaner then to get to the bottom and clean all the areas of the pool. Usually your skimmers are one end or the other. So you're going to reach it from the skimmer to the furthest corner in the pool, then add one extra section. That's going to give you your proper hose length for a suction side cleaner.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to add is all these points about speed and then length of the hose and then the leader hose and the flexibility and all that are very integral parts of setting up your cleaner. The suction cleaners are all about the right distribution between weight and buoyancy. We also have in the package a little floater that you attach to the leader hose that is also important to have when installing the cleaner because it creates the right distribution between weight and buoyancy. So the minute that you throw that equation or that distribution off, then you're going to start having problems. That's why it's so important when you install your cleaner to really follow the manual. We have in the manual everything that you need to install your cleaner the right way. Everything that we've just been talking about, all those points that Brian is making of how to install it and the best way to do it, and it's all in the manual. So make sure that if you do have cleaners and you do provide cleaners to your customers, make sure that you follow those manual instructions to really install those cleaners.
Yeah, I think those are both the leader hose and the float. A lot of times are missing on cleaners, and those are vital parts to it. We notice, out in the field, as being in Arizona, our very heavily suction side market. I mean, if you take on a new account, a lot of times you'll see they don't have leader hoses or they don't have the proper things in place. So you got to make sure that those are all there.
Right.
We're proud to announce Lion Financial as a sponsor. Since 1979, they have helped make backyard dreams come true nationwide. Lion Financial is a specialist in pool financing solutions, offering low rates, long terms, and unmatched customer service. Lion Financial's experience is unique to pools, not just any type of loan. They are a partner with both the homeowner and the pool builder until the project is completed, ensuring pool professionals are paid on time and in full. It is absolutely free for pool contractors to partner with Lion Financial to grow their business. Lion Financial is committed to providing an excellent customer service experience. Homeowners will never be charged a consulting fee or prepayment penalties, and pool builders will never be charged a swipe fee for accessing their own hard-earned money. When it comes to something as important as a pool and all the memories that come with it, work with true professionals who have your best interest in mind. With more than 41 years of experience in specializing in pool financing solutions, why trust anyone but the experts? For more information, contact Lion at 877-754-5966. Go to lionfinancial.net/pool chasers or click the link below.
Yeah, so if everybody's good, we'll just kind of switch this over to pressure side cleaners, which we didn't see many of these out here in Arizona, but we know that they are much more popular in other markets. So can we kind of have the same discussion going over, what pressure side cleaners are and, what products Pentair offers?
Sure. Yeah, you guys don't see much of the pressure side because you don't have a lot of large debris. So you're lucky in that aspect. Now, Texas, on the other hand, they use the pressure side cleaners quite a bit. The Northeast uses this pressure side cleaners quite a bit. The Midwest also uses the pressure cleaner quite a bit. They've got larger debris loads, right? A lot of leaves. And that's really what a pressure side cleaner is great for. So you've got two different types of pressure side cleaners. You've got one that uses a booster pump, then you have one that uses the water flow from the return line to power it. So where you have what we call suction side cleaners or pad cleaners, those work on the suction side of the hydraulic system. The pressure side cleaner, as its name suggests, works on the pressure side of the hydraulic system. So where you have a booster pump, that booster pump boosts the flow of the water through a dedicated line to the pressure cleaner. That pressurized water goes through a turbine which drives the wheels, front wheels. So sometimes they've got, like in the case of a competitor, 3 wheels. The 2 wheels are driven and then the third wheel is geared to drive as well. But they're all tied to that turbine, and that water pressure is driving that turbine. Then it has venturi jets inside of a tube, and on top of that tube, on top of the cleaner, is a cleaner bag. So those jets help pull the water in from the middle of the cleaner up into that tube and up into the bag. So it helps direct the debris up into the bag. And then you can take the bag off the cleaner and empty it out to get rid of all the debris. Now, the pressure side cleaners don't work all that well in picking up finer debris. So what they do is they've added a sweep tail, a tail on the backside of the cleaner that actually whips back and forth as the cleaner moves around the pool. That helps to, one, clean out any dead areas like corners that the cleaner can't get into or fine debris. It helps to stir it up to where the skimmer or main drain can pick it up and take it out of the pool and get it back to the filter system.
Very good. And what pressure side cleaners does Pentair offer?
So we've got the Racer cleaner, which is a very unique cleaner in that the backup valve is built into the cleaner. And when I talk about a backup valve, one of the things that is unique with pressure side cleaners is constantly going forward. And in order to help randomize the pattern, and if the cleaner gets stuck anywhere, they've got a backup valve in line in the hose that comes on every so often to help pull the cleaner to a different area of the pool. This will help get it unstuck from places that it might be stuck, but it also helps to randomize the cleaner to make sure that it gets to all areas of the pool.
Consumers and pool owners that have pressure cleaners swear by those. They live by them. They're very loyal to that technology. And it's because they probably have a lot of trees around the pool. And then there's a lot of leaves that go inside of the pool. And the pressure cleaners are the best cleaners in the market today to pick up leaves, not only from the power of doing so, but the capacity that, the bags on the pressure cleaner are pretty big. So you can load up compact a lot of leaves in there. That's why they're popular in certain areas of the U.S. That's why, their shortcomings are in the sand and silt and those type of small debris. That is the main difference, why there's a distinct difference between regions and type of cleaning technology, is because of the debris. That's all that drives that behavior.
Very good. Thank you.
So, what's different from the suction side cleaners to the pressure side cleaners on, installing them is the hose and the process to measure it and cut it. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. The suction side cleaners are really easy. You've got one standard hose. You might have a leader hose that gets attached to the cleaner itself, like in the Rebels case. But that hose just uses a friction fit to go together. So it goes together pretty easily. And again, you just need from your suction point, you connect it to the suction side of the system to the furthest part in the pool, plus one hose length, which is usually 4 feet. So the suction side is really easy to assemble a hose and install the hose. On the pressure side, it's a little bit more difficult. You've got usually about 30 feet of hose. You've got 2 different stiffnesses in the hose. You've got a stiffer section that gets placed back by the wall fitting that goes to the dedicated line, and then a softer section that goes up closer towards the cleaner. The softer section helps bend a little bit more so the cleaner has a little bit freer movement to move about the pool. But on the pressure side, you've got to actually measure the hose length to the furthest part in the pool, plus roughly 5 to 7 feet. If it's longer than that, you need to take the extra length from between the harder section and the softer section. You don't want to take it all from the softer section. You want to take it equally from the hard section and the soft section. So what you have to do is you take the harder section and the soft section apart, cut equally on both sides, then reassemble, then remeasure. So it's a little bit more difficult to set up the hose on a pressure side, but it really doesn't take all that long to do correctly.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for explaining it. It's definitely a much different process. And I just want to make sure we don't forget this. With the pressure side cleaner, you have to have 2 pumps. The filter pump has to be on before the pressure pump, right?
Yeah. So 2 styles of pressure cleaners. You've got one with a booster pump and one without a booster pump. So the one without a booster pump, the Creepcroy Legend 2, that'll work without a booster pump. There, you have to make sure that you've got a decent sized pump in order to get that pressure cleaner to work, because it's relying on the filter pump to send enough water down that return line to get it to work properly. With the other style that has the booster pump, you're pretty much guaranteed that you're going to have enough water flow going to the cleaner all the time, unless, of course, you've got a break in the hose somewhere, or a bad connection, or the finger screen or wall screen is clogged. But yeah, you're going to have 2 pumps. You're going to have the filter pump that's running, because the pressure pump are not pumps that can prime themselves. So if there's a slight air leak in the hydraulic system, the pipes are going to empty of water when the pump shuts off. When the pump comes back on, it's got to reprime all the water in that system again. Booster pump isn't capable of doing that. So you have to ensure that the filter pump comes on before the booster pump. And typically, if we've got it hooked up in automation dictates that that booster pump will come on 5 minutes after the filter pump to make sure that there's enough water flowing through the system to make sure that there's water available for the booster pump. Otherwise, it can burn itself out.
Thank you. And let's talk about robotic vacuums now. Can you discuss with us just what a robotic vacuum is and what products Pentair offers on the robotic side?
Sure. Robots are really the most popular cleaners these days. Why? Number one, they plug and play. We just talked about the pressure cleaners requiring another pump, a booster pump. The beauty of the robotic cleaners is they don't require any pump, meaning you plug them, in your outlet in the 110, you bring that cleaner to the side of the pool, and then you just let the cleaner submerge in the pool and use a power supply. You turn it on, and it does all the work after that. So it's very easy to install. It's very easy to operate, and it does not require the pump to clean. And now you can have your robot do the work while the pump is off. And of course, you can have both simultaneously working together. But, the beauty of the robots is it saves money to the end consumer. The robotic also have, it really takes 5 minutes from unpacking to start cleaning. It's a plug and play. There's really 3 components to this cleaner. You have the power supply, and the power supply is the one that controls the pool, and you can pre-program to have different weekly schedules for the robot to clean. You have the communication cable, which is a cable that connects the cleaner head to the power supply, to then the power supply connects to the wall. And you have the robot itself, the cleaner head. So those 3 components are it in terms of installing the cleaner. And it's a really fast and easy way to bring it from the box and start cleaning your pool. I mean, efficiency now with the technology being more accessible from a price point, that's why this category of robotic cleaner is growing in the past 10 years exponentially. I mean, it's I think last year we saw around 15% year-over-year growth, and it's been sustainable for the past 5 years. So it's a category that is really growing, and it's because of the ease of use, the easy installation, the efficiency of cleaning, and people like that, and people are resonating with that.
Right. Do you see any options coming out that maybe are cordless, anything like that? Because one thing we notice from a service standpoint is some of the homeowners here in like Arizona and the higher end markets, they don't really like seeing the hoses, or also from a service standpoint, I mean, depending on a homeowner to drop in one of these robotic cleaners every day or whenever it needs it, it's kind of difficult to do. So are you seeing any different options maybe coming out that are a little bit more automatic, using automation or anything?
Yes. The answer to that is absolutely yes. There's really no good solution today in the market that is completely cordless and it works well. To me, an analogy is, or a comparison is to other industries, is the battery and tools, the tool market. It took at least 10 years for those industries to really become completely cordless, battery powered, and have enough battery to really do a good job of what they need to be doing. Same with pool cleaners. It's coming. There's a race to who is the first one to come in the market with a good solution. But we are all working on that solution, and we're all working and bringing that capability in the future for the robotic cleaner. Cord, to your point, the cord in the robotic cleaner is the number one complaint from a consumer, because today you plug it in and then it drapes around the patio, and then it goes over the pool, and it's not a beautiful solution. But we are working on getting around that. Even though that there's no complete battery powered robotics today that work well, we are working on cord management. We are working on solutions that will address those pain points. I'm pretty sure here in the next year or a couple of years, you will be seeing something from us that addresses all those pain points and those needs.
Thank you. And what are the different robotic models that you all have? So
we have a total of 4 cleaners today from a robotic perspective in our portfolio. We have the Prowler. It's under the Prowler family. We have the Prowler 910, which is an above ground cleaner, and pretty much is for above ground pools. This is not a wall climber. It has a 40-foot cable for above ground applications. It does have a top axis for the filter basket, which is great. And we have that offering and that feature in all our Prowlers. So no matter if you buy from the above ground to top of the line, you have that top axis filter basket, which it makes a really easy way to remove debris without having to handle debris. The robot back in the day, you had bags that were like diapers that when they fill with debris, you had to manage that debris and get your hands, get the debris out of the bag. And it was very cumbersome. Today, it's just a one touch operation where you click a button, the top cover comes out or lifts up, and then you take that debris basket out and just empty it and put it back in. So it's very easy solution. We just launched the 917, Prowler 917. That's our entry-level in-ground cleaner. This is designed for small pools. So it's pools that are up to 33 feet in length, and it has a 50-foot cable. It's a wall climber, so it will climb to the water line and scrub the water line. These cleaners also have active scrubbers. They're rollers in the front of the unit that scrub the water line and scrub the surfaces. Also, this Prowler 917 has a weekly timer capable power supply. We just launched this, just hit the market, and it's for the entry-level small pools market. And then you go to the 920, Prowler 920, which is a step up. And it's a bigger ID, it's a bigger cleaner head. And it has the same programmability in the power supply. So you can program it to have every other day cleaning, every other 2 days cleaning. And how this programmability and weekly timer works is you have to reset it every week. And there's a reason for this. We designed that this way. So when you come back to your cleaner every week, that reminds you to go and empty that debris bag. If you have a programmability that is for a month, then the pool owner could forget that they have the cleaner in the pool, or forget that they need to empty the basket, the debris basket, and that debris basket could be full, and now it's not picking up debris. It still works, it still goes around, but it's not really picking up debris. We made that feature, weekly timing feature, to be a weekly event. So it forces a pool owner to go out there, reset it, and then empty the debris basket and clean the debris basket and put it back on the pool. From there, we have the top of the line cleaner, which is a Prowler 930. And this has the same length of cable, has the same programmability from the power supply, but it comes with two things. It comes with an app, and that app provides control of the cleaner from your phone and access to that cleaner from your phone, smartphone. And then the second one, it's a caddy. And it has a caddy that now, when you want to take your cleaner out of the pool, there's a place that you can place your cleaner and also wheel it and transport this cleaner to your garage, to the side of a house, or wherever the pool owner chooses to store or take the cleaner and store the cleaner. And that is our 4 cleaners that we have in the market today.
And what type of warranty is typically offered, with most of these cleaners, and how do you submit those warranties?
So the warranties that we have today for all our Prowler, it's 2 years warranty. You can go, once you purchase the cleaner, you can go to our website and very easily register that cleaner, and that would automatically register for the warranty as well. Once you submit your purchase and your data, it will register the warranty as well. So very easy process there, but they're 2-year warranty.
Okay. And for the pressure and suction side cleaners?
Pressure and suction side cleaners, it's the same process, and it depends. So if it's a trade grade product, all of our trade grade cleaners are 2-year warranty. Now there's some other cleaners that are sold online, and they're sold, and they can be sold anywhere. They can be sold in the trade, they can be sold in brick and mortar, they can be sold, online. Most of those cleaners that are what we call all channel cleaners are 1-year warranty.
Very good. Thank you. Well, we really appreciate you both joining us today on the podcast and for all the great information. So
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Absolutely.
thank you. Hey, Pool Chasers. Thanks for checking out this episode. Did you know that each episode has its own page on our website? This is where you can find more information about the guest and episode topic, as well as all the resources that we discuss throughout the show. To get to the webpage, click the link below. Also below, you will find links to the sponsors of the show, as well as links to follow us on our social media channels. On our channels, you will find some of our favorite clips and bonus material. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Our tag is Pool Chasers. We also have a Facebook group for the Pool Chasers community. Here you will find like-minded professionals all looking to make each other better. One last thing. If the episode has brought you value, please check out our Patreon page to support us. And if you could please rate and review the podcast, we would love to hear what your favorite topics are. Thank you for your time and your ear.
See you out there, Pool Chasers.